guys. Mm, so far, what we have discussed, how we are going to use the REST API with the help of JSC model. Okay, as I said in the initial videos, at the end of this particular playlist, we are going to discuss about how we are going to achieve the REST API in Spring Boot application. Okay, so the Spring Boot application, this is basically it's a handy application because when we are working with the Jersey application, what is happening is you have to convert the XML, or you have to specifically tell them what is the JSON and whether it is a XML, or what is the expected outcome, or what is the expected input. All those information we can provide it. And also the another important thing about the Spring Boot is you don't need the server first of all, because we have the when you create a Spring project, you'll have the container jars which is downloaded from the maven repository, which will handle the request and responses. You can simply say it's a serverless environment. So you have to develop your code and you can directly deploy it into the, you don't have to deploy actually, you just have to run. You just needs to start the Spring Boot application and you can simply just hit your resource. That's it. Okay, let's create a new project in Spring Boot and we'll see how it is going to work. Okay, so go to file and new Spring Starter project. Sometimes it won't be visible here. The reason is you need to use the proper palette. So if you go here, open perspective, you need to choose. I'm going to use a Spring perspective. So when you're going for creating a new project, it will display it in your pop-up itself. Okay, file new, and I'm going to Spring Starter project, and there's a service URL and you can name it here whatever you want. Spring Boot test application, and you can give the rest. Okay, and you need to choose what you are going to use. I'm going to use a web because I'm not doing anything, I'm just simply hitting some request and getting the data. You can use web. In case if you're dealing with the databases, you can search for Oracle or database. See, you can see NoSQLs, JPA, JDBC, Hibernate DB language, and Derby, and other databases as well. Okay, so I'm not going to use any databases so as of now. So I'm going to go with the web model for now. So click next, and when you click finish, it will create your Spring project. Basically, what is happening is when you click finish, it will download the components from the internet to set up your local projects. Okay. So since it's taking a little bit time, I already created a project which has the same kind of setup, just empty projects. Okay, so we're gonna use it. So Spring Boot REST. This is the application you're going to work with. When you're creating this your first Spring Boot application, you'll have a, a basic resource application, which is nothing but your default resource. Okay, I'm not going to use this one as of now. So what we are planning to do is we are going to do the same thing. Whatever we have implemented in the Jersey model, we are going to implement it here also. Okay, so I'm going to create a new service here. And another important thing, when you're working with the Spring Boot model, you don't need the server here. Make sure you stop the server or deleted it. Or else what will happen is when you start trying to start the Spring Boot application, you will end up with some port issues. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how you're going to rectify that. If you're getting the port exception, what do you have to do? Okay, we'll see it a bit later. So let's go ahead and create a new service as the same what we can. Okay, we can name it the student service, and okay, and click finish. So I'm gonna write a method here which is going to return the list of student information. Okay, I'm not going to use any DB. As I said, we are just going to use the markup data for now. Public list of student get students. So return null as of now. So I have to import the list. Okay, so since I don't have the class, the student class is not created, So we are going to create it now. Okay, create class student, and okay, in my student I have, as usual, private string, first name and last name. Okay, and I'm going to create a constructor for that, and selector. Okay, so I have to use the toString method to print the data. Okay, and I'm gonna need the constructor so I can populate the object in an easier way. Okay, let's save it. Okay, let's create a student here. Return. Okay, I'm going to create a student1, student s1 equal new student, and I'm going to create a couple of students here. Okay, come on. Okay, so I'm going to create another student as well, so which is nothing but student2. So my favorite students, who can, okay, Dennis, John, and the another person is Phil Johnson. Phil Johnson, yeah, that's fine. Johnson. So I'm going to add these two students into a list. So I'm going to use arrays.asList. I'm going to add s1 and s2 into the student. Now this method is going to return the service. And make sure this is a normal class. What is the difference between the Spring Boot class and my normal class? We are going to add it. Okay, first thing you need to mention, you need to provide the details that this particular class is going to be act as a resource. So because this is going to be my REST controller here, so you have to use the annotation to make sure to the compiler, to the JVM knows this is the controller file, my REST controller. Okay, and then the other thing, okay, okay, I know this is my REST controller. I don't have any method in it, but still I have a method, but still it is not a REST method. Okay, in order to convert the method as a REST method, you need to provide some parameters, which is nothing but in Jersey we are seeing like get, post, or put or delete. Here you can use the annotations again, but instead of get and put or something else, we are going to use the request mapping here. So again, it's a annotations request mapping. Request mapping is nothing but this is the one which is going to handle the request and response student. Now everything looks good. I have my service and I have my list of students. So I'm going to run my service now. Okay. First thing, when you create a Spring Boot, you don't have to run the application in the server. It has to be run through as a serverless client. Okay. Let's start the application. So right click your project and go to run as, not run on server, not Java application. You need to find Spring Boot app. You need to start the application. This application is going to act as a server. Okay. Okay, it's starting. Okay. What it is saying? It is saying some application failed to start. Okay, the listener port is again, see, my default Tomcat Apache server is using 8080 port. So even though my server is stopped in the registry files, it is stored actually. So you need to make sure my Spring Boot application, it is going to use different port. You don't have to go to any server and do a lot of changes for that. Internally in application.properties file in the Spring Boot itself, you can specify it. Okay. So what you can simply say, you can simply go to properties here and add um, server dot port number is going to be 9090. Okay, and finish it. Okay, and save. And now you can try to do the same thing. Let's try to start the server again one more time. Run as my Spring Boot app, and let's see. Okay, it's pretty clear now. We don't see any exceptions. Okay, still we are getting some exception. I think 9090 it's configured with something else, so I'm gonna modify that again to something else. So what I'm gonna use is, instead of 9090 I can use 7070. I don't think this has been used somewhere else. Okay, let's save it, and for just for my namesake I'm just gonna build it once. So I'm gonna clear the logs. Okay, let's trying to start the app again. Run as Spring Boot app. I hope it will work now. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, Spring loaded. Okay, Spring Boot is coming up. Okay, cool. See, you don't see any issues now. So it's very simple to modify the configurations also, because the only reason the Spring Boot is very handy to everyone, configuration and all, it's comparing to other technologies, it's very simpler way. Okay, so let's go to the Postman. So what is my service name? It's nothing but my student. So what is the port which I used it? Okay, localhost, and the port which I used is 7070, right? Okay, student. Let's hit it. See, that's all. You got the response back. Okay, this is pretty simple. I have a service. I'm just invoking it through my Postman, and I don't have server first thing because I'm using my Tomcat jars, which is embedded in my Spring Boot application. So I got the response back as a JSON. Okay, let's open the maven dependencies and see what is there inside. Okay, let's extract it. See, here you can see something like where is Tomcat? Search for Tomcat. See, Tomcat embedded core 8.5. This is the jar is taken care of handling the request and response, like it, those jar files is acting as a actual server. And another thing is the converting the JSON and JSON to XML and other things like Jersey. Here we have a Jackson. Okay, Jackson API will taking care of everything. Okay, in the next video what we are going to discuss about is, we are going to discuss about how we are going to handle the post and get methods. It's just a simple example to show how the Spring Boot is working. Let's see how we are going to deal with the post and other request types. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please try it yourself and let me know if you guys have any help or any clarification.